The time finally came where Abby's like, that's enough. I am getting off this crash pad and I am going to climb. Now, Abby does not climb very often, so it was quite amazing to see her suit up and get on the rock. She climbed really, really good, so I always think it's just amazing that she doesn't climb. Everyone else, they were also greatly amazed and enamored by her skills. I thought this chalked hand was kind of neat. Here's a picture of a chalked finger with a smiley face on it, and then that finger was stamped on my shoulder. You may be wondering why Carl hasn't climbed at all on this trip yet. A couple of weeks prior to us going on this trip, while moving a piano, Carl hurt his arm. So here is the only picture of Carl climbing on this entire trip. When we got back to the parking lot, Pounder brought us over to the Black Hills State Park sign. Apparently it is a challenge to jump two-footed off of the ground onto the first level, and then from the first level two-footed up to the second level. I tested this out and decided, hell no, I'm not doing that. But after looking at this picture, we thought, well, this is kind of cool. So we decided to get some other pictures of us jumping up and down. And I think they turned out pretty sweet. This is my favorite picture of the entire trip. In fact, I have this picture as the wallpaper on my computer at work. 1, 2, 3, friends forever! I hate you. Shut up back there! That evening back at Pounder's house, nothing too exciting happened. In fact, the only pictures that I got were of Carl falling asleep. You know, Carl kinda reminds me of John Merrick, the Elephant Man, in this picture. Ooh, maybe not. The next morning, we were a little bit putsy. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were on TV or something to that effect. But eventually, we got on the road. We headed to Spearfish Canyon. On the way there, we had to stop and get gas in the canyon at this single pump. As you can see, it's $3.29.9 a gallon. It's about a 40-minute ride out there, so Matt tried to sleep a little bit on the way. Abby saw this as an opportunity to pounce on him and wrestle him and try and hurt him or tickle him or whatever the hell she was trying to do. Matt saw that as an opportunity to actually punch her in the ass. We get to our parking spot and we start to load up gear. I tried to carry a gallon jug of water in my backpack. I didn't get but 10 feet and this thing exploded, dumping about a third of a gallon of water all over my stuff. You see here, that thing was full, and now a third of it was all over my stuff and in my backpack. It instantly added character to my book. When we did finally get up there, it was pretty sweet. Now, despite the gloomy day, the rock was really nice. It was this pocketed limestone, super sticky, routes everywhere, sport leads, single pitch. It was really nice. Matt and Pounder both started to suit up to go on to lead. Carl, since he wasn't going to climb, didn't bring a harness, so he had to make one out of slings. As the day went on, the weather slowly deteriorated, so we weren't really able to get a lot of climbs in. Here's some quick shots of Matt and Pounder and myself doing some leads. Here is another shot of Abby sitting on the crash pad. She just loves that darn thing. The weather deteriorated pretty quick. In fact, it started to snow while we were climbing, which was actually pretty neat. It was getting cold though, so we decided to pack it up and call it a trip. It actually started to snow pretty hard, and as you can see in this picture, I was really excited about that. Once we got back down to the car and on the road, we stopped at a bar and grill in the canyon called Louie's. This place was pretty unique, as you can see, and they had really good food. No trip to a bar and grill would be complete without playing erotic photo hunt. Abby insisted that we play hunks instead of babes. Once we were done eating and checking out hot dudes, we piled back into the van to drive back to Pounders for a night of drinking and ping pong. I will now attempt to show you a typical game of ping pong. Serving. Yaw. Yo. Yo. Wait. Ja. Net. Carl wins. Well, that's pretty much it. The next morning we got up and drove back to Minnesota. Really didn't get too much for pictures because it was just, South Dakota landscape. I really hope you enjoyed this slideshow. Don't forget to support W Trek Outfitters by buying stuff. Thank you.